Some of the most successful people in the world share a secret that rarely makes headlines. They reach goals that others only dream about. They build careers, accumulate wealth, gain recognition, and earn the respect of those around them. Yet behind closed doors, many still struggle with anxiety, emptiness, confusion, and a constant feeling that something important is missing. That reality raises a question that deserves serious attention. Why do some people keep striving but never find peace? Why do achievements sometimes leave people feeling less fulfilled than they expected? For generations, people have searched for answers in every possible direction. They have chased success, relationships, status, possessions, influence, and personal ambition. Many believed that reaching the next milestone would finally bring lasting satisfaction. Yet countless stories reveal a surprising truth. The moment one goal is achieved, another goal quickly takes its place. The pursuit never seems to, and there is a reason for that. Many people spend years focusing on what they want from life without first considering the one who gave them life. That simple shift in focus changes everything. The truth is that most people do not wake up one morning and decide to live without God at the center of their lives. It happens gradually. Responsibilities increase. Schedules become busier. Ambitions grow stronger. Worries become louder. Little by little, priorities change. Before long, success becomes the main focus. Financial security becomes the main focus. Relationships become the main focus. Approval from others becomes the main focus. Then something unexpected happens. Even when some of those goals are achieved, life can still feel out of balance. There can still be restlessness. There can still be uncertainty. There can still be a sense that something important is out of place. Throughout history, some of the most influential men and women discovered a powerful principle that transformed their lives. It was not hidden in wealth. It was not found in status. It was not discovered through popularity or worldly success. It began when they made a decision to put God first. That decision often changed the direction of everything else. Many people know the phrase, "put God first," but very few truly understand what it means. Some think it requires perfection. Others believe it only applies to pastors, church leaders, or people who spend every moment focused on spiritual activities. The reality is far different. Putting God first is not about becoming perfect overnight. It is not about pretending life is easy. It is not about avoiding responsibilities or ignoring challenges. It is about placing God at the center of every decision, every priority, every dream, and every season of life. When that happens, something remarkable begins to take place. Peace starts replacing constant worry. Direction begins replacing confusion. Purpose begins replacing emptiness. And often, the things that once seemed impossible begin falling into place in ways that cannot always be explained. There are countless stories of people who spent years fighting battles in their own strength, only to discover that surrendering control to God brought more clarity than all their striving ever could. There are also moments in history that reveal a fascinating pattern. During times of uncertainty, hardship, and major life transitions, many people found their greatest breakthroughs not when they pushed harder, but when they realigned their priorities and placed God where He belonged all along. That principle remains just as powerful today. In this video, you will discover why so many people feel stuck even when they appear successful. You will learn what it truly means to put God first and why this principle has transformed lives for generations. We will explore how misplaced priorities quietly create stress, confusion, and instability. We will also uncover the surprising ways that putting God first can influence your peace, relationships, decisions, purpose, and future direction. You will learn why waiting seasons are often more important than people realize. You will discover why some prayers seem delayed and how God can be working behind the scenes even when nothing appears to be changing. Most importantly, you will learn practical ways to make God the first priority in your daily life, regardless of your current circumstances. Be sure to stay until the very end, because one of the most overlooked truths about spiritual growth could completely change the way you view your struggles, your delays, and even the challenges you are facing right now. The message ahead is not merely about faith. It is about order. It is about foundation. It is about understanding why life often feels unstable when God is placed second, third, or somewhere further down the list. A powerful lesson is waiting ahead, and the final takeaway may be exactly what someone needs to hear today. Welcome to our channel, where faith, encouragement, and spiritual growth come together to help you build a stronger relationship with God. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe. Turn on notifications and join our growing community as we continue exploring timeless truths that can strengthen your faith and transform your life. Now, let us begin. Many people spend years trying to fix the symptoms of an unbalanced life without ever addressing the real cause. They work harder, they set bigger goals, they search for new opportunities, they look for better relationships. They tell themselves that peace will come after the next promotion, the next financial breakthrough, or the next achievement. Yet for many, peace remains just out of reach. The reason is often deeper than they realize. Career is not wrong. Money is not wrong. Relationships are not wrong. Success is not wrong. These things can be blessings when they are kept in their proper place. Problems beg in when good things become ultimate things. Problems begin when something created takes the place that belongs to the Creator. Many people organize their entire lives around work. Every decision revolves around career advancement. Every thought revolves around the next opportunity. They sacrifice their peace, their relationships, and sometimes even their faith in pursuit of success. Others place money at the center of everything. They believe financial security will finally eliminate their fears. Yet even after reaching certain goals, new worries appear. There is always another expense, another uncertainty, another reason to feel anxious. Some people place relationships first. They depend on the approval of others to determine their value. Their happiness rises and falls based on how people treat them. Their identity becomes attached to human acceptance rather than God's truth. Others become consumed with social status. They constantly compare themselves to others. They measure the worth by recognition, influence, or public perception. They spend enormous energy maintaining an image while feeling increasingly empty inside. The strange thing is that many of these people appear successful from the outside. They may have the career, they may have the money, they may have the admiration of others. Yet deep within, something feels unsettled. This is why anxiety has become so common. People carry the weight of trying to control everything. They fear failure because their identity depends on success. They fear loss because their security depends on temporary things. They fear rejection because their value depends on human approval. The result is constant pressure, constant worry, constant emotional exhaustion. Many people wake up tired before the day even begins because they are carrying burdens they were never meant to carry alone. Perhaps one of the most surprising realities is that accomplishments do not automatically create fulfillment. A person can reach a goal that once seemed impossible and still feel empty afterward. The excitement fades, the celebration ends. Then another mountain appears in the distance. Without God at the center, life can become an endless cycle of chasing, striving, and searching. A building can look beautiful from the outside, but if the foundation is unstable, cracks eventually begin to appear. The same principle applies to life. When the foundation is built on temporary things, instability eventually reveals itself. That is why putting God first is not simply religious advice. It is a foundational principle. Yet many people misunderstand what that actually means. Some believe putting God first means becoming perfect. They think they must never struggle, never fail, and never make mistakes. Others believe it means spending every moment engaged in religious activity. Neither of those ideas reflects the truth. Putting God first is not about perfection. If perfection were required, nobody could do it. Every person falls short. Every person faces weaknesses. Every person encounters moments of doubt and struggle. God is not looking for flawless performance. He is looking for willing hearts. Putting God first means seeking His guidance before making major decisions rather than asking Him to bless decisions that have already been made. It means trusting His wisdom even when circumstances seem confusing. It means choosing His principles over temporary emotions. It means allowing faith to become stronger than fear. Many people allow fear to guide their decisions. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty, fear of missing opportunities. Fear becomes the compass directing their lives. When God becomes the priority, a different compass begins to lead. Faith takes the place of fear. Trust begins replacing panic. Confidence grows because the foundation shifts from human understanding to God's wisdom. The direction of a life is determined by its priorities. Whatever occupies first place eventually influences everything else. Thoughts follow priorities. Decisions follow priorities. Habits follow priorities. Destinations follow priorities. That is why Scripture repeatedly emphasizes the importance of putting first things first. There is a spiritual principle woven throughout the Bible. God honors proper priorities. This does not mean life suddenly becomes easy. It does not mean every problem disappears overnight. It means life begins operating according to God's design rather than human confusion. When God occupies first place, thoughts begin to change. Negative thinking loses some of its power because truth begins replacing fear-driven assumptions. Decisions begin to change. People become less impulsive and more intentional. Character begins to change. Patience develops where frustration once ruled. Humility develops where pride once dominated. Integrity develops even when nobody is watching. Relationships begin to change as well. God is first. People become less focused on controlling others and more focused on loving them. Forgiveness becomes easier. Compassion grows stronger. Pride loses its grip. One of the lesser-known truths about faith is that God cares about every area of life. Not only worship, not only prayer, not only church attendance. God cares about work. God cares about family. God cares about finances. God cares about friendships. God cares about decisions. God cares about daily responsibilities. Faith was never intended to exist in a small corner of life. It was designed to influence every part of life. As this alignment begins taking place, changes often appear in unexpected ways. Life's challenges do not disappear, but peace begins replacing constant worry. The circumstances may remain difficult, yet perspective changes. A person who trusts God still faces uncertainty. The difference is that uncertainty no longer creates the same level of fear. Confidence grows because trust is rooted in something greater than circumstances. Decisions also become clearer. People spend less time chasing temporary solutions, less time following every new trend, less time reacting emotionally. Wisdom begins providing direction. Relationships improve because people stop demanding perfection from others. Patience increases. Forgiveness becomes more natural. Love becomes less self-centered and more genuine. Purpose becomes clearer as well. Many people spend years comparing themselves to everyone around them. They become distracted by other people's success stories. They become discouraged by other people's progress. When God becomes the priority, comparison begins losing its power. People become focused on the path God has placed before them rather than constantly measuring themselves against others. Still, There is something important to understand. Many people decide to put God first and then expect immediate results. They expect every prayer to be answered instantly. They expect every problem to disappear quickly. They expect every door to open immediately. Yet some of God's most important work happens during seasons of waiting. Waiting develops character. Waiting strengthens trust. Waiting produces spiritual maturity. Waiting teaches dependence on God instead of dependence on circumstances. Many breakthroughs are prepared long before they become visible. God is often working behind the scenes while people assume nothing is happening. A delay does not mean abandonment. Silence does not mean absence. Some of the greatest transformations occur during seasons when progress cannot yet be seen. As we come to the end of this message, one truth stands above everything else we have discussed today. Life becomes much clearer when priorities are in the right order. Many people spend years trying to fix problems on the surface while the real issue remains hidden underneath. They work harder, they worry more, they search for answers in success, money, relationships, or recognition. Yet the peace they are looking for continues to slip through their hands. The reason is often simple. When God is not first, everything else eventually becomes heavier than it was meant to be. Putting God first does not guarantee a life without challenges. It does not mean every obstacle suddenly disappears. It does not mean every prayer is answered immediately or every problem is solved overnight. But it does create something incredibly powerful. It creates a strong foundation. And when the foundation is strong, you can face challenges with greater confidence. You can walk through uncertainty with greater peace. You can make decisions with greater wisdom. You can continue moving forward even when circumstances are difficult. That is why putting God first changes more than just one part of life. It changes how you think. It changes how you respond to problems. It changes how you view your future. It changes how you treat people. It changes how you handle success. And it changes how you endure difficult seasons. Peace begins to grow. Purpose becomes clearer. Direction becomes easier to recognize. Wisdom develops over time. The same circumstances that once created fear begin to lose their power because your trust is no longer resting on temporary things. If life feels out of place today, take a moment to honestly examine what has been occupying first place in your heart. Is it success? Is it money? Is it fear? Is it the approval of others? Is it control? One decision can begin a completely new direction. One choice to place God back at the center can change the course of your life in ways you cannot yet see. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for priority. And when He becomes the foundation, everything else begins finding its proper place. If this message spoke to your heart, let us know in the comments by writing God first. Your comment may encourage someone else who is going through a difficult season right now. Also, take a moment to like this video. It helps this message reach more people who may need this encouragement today. And if you enjoy faith-based motivation, Christian encouragement, spiritual growth content, and powerful messages that strengthen your walk with God, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a future video. Thank you for spending this time with us. Remember this: when God is first, everything else finds its proper place. The circumstances around you may not change overnight. The challenges may not disappear immediately. The waiting season may continue for a little while longer. But something important begins to change the moment God takes His rightful place in your life. Your foundation becomes stronger. Your perspective becomes clearer. Your faith becomes deeper. And your path begins moving in the direction God intended all along. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Keep putting God first. And watch how He works in ways you never expected.